Well, Katie saw the new Barbie movie.
I did, and you guys asked how it was, if I enjoyed it, and I wrote you my review. And then all of a sudden, Jason Goodman asked me if I was on drugs or dropped LSD before. And I was like, I just was reviewing.
It was very analytical. Yeah,
that was the thing. Is like when I think of the Barbie movie, I'm just like, okay, a Barbie movie, and then like Katie looked like she wrote this like 5-star review, depth and very like
Crying.
over the top. I'm like, this is the Barbie movie, right?
Yeah, well,
and
I
she wrote
did.
This, like literally like a movie review that was like very long and very much. I never saw a review like that over a Barbie movie.
Responding to, first of all, I came out of the movie theater and I had like 40 text messages. So then I was scrolling through them, and the thing that I was seeing that you guys were all talking about before I responded was like, oh, I heard it was very political. And then Josie writes in and she said the premise of the movie is feminism rules. And then Jared said something along like, I've heard the same, funny but political. I think some of your kids had seen it, right?
Yeah, Ava saw it.
So I walked out of the theater and I was like, oh, I just saw it. And so my review is as follows.
But you did say, just to let you know about the dropping acid part, is this is Barbie,
Right.
and you said you cried twice.
I did.
Yeah.
No,
I
that's
did.
great. Yeah.
You don't expect that.
No.
Do you see the...
Yeah, it was unexpected.
Okay.
And I cried.
It's like say, oh, you saw Anchorman 2? Like, yeah, I cried twice.
I did put the laughy face because even I can't explain it. I
Right,
don't know.
right.
But my review was, I just saw it. I cried twice. It's all about girl power, but also Ken has his own identity crisis. It's odd at some moments, but it was super clever the way that they used real Barbie props, ones that every Barbie lover knows and will recognize: the car, the house, the boats, all the accessories. I said it's definitely all about the reason why Barbie was created and how it became the standard for women, how women should look, act, and be seen. I said all true, but political is not the word that I would use. It's all about equality and finding your own way, which I
Sounds very political.
felt was like
But see,
a good review. But
I liked it because it was a lot more thorough than I. So when I said nice review,
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder if you think that's
I
sarcasm
did.
we do.
I was like, okay, I am never writing back to you a-holes
Oh,
again.
no, it
Then I
says
sent
Jared seemed like he was meant nice review, and
No,
I'm like,
then I sent her later. I'm like, no, I was being for real about the nice review.
Yeah. Well, so I hadn't heard, like, really going into Barbie, I didn't know what to expect because we had been seeing all of these pictures, of Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie, obviously in all the like over the top Barbie clothes, and there are the rollerblades and all the 80s stuff, and that, it'd be fun, right?
Yeah.
And I, honest to God, had forgotten that there were other people, big names, that were in the movie. Kate McKinnon, to me, from Saturday Night Live, stole the show. She's
an actual comedian.
She's an actual comedian and was hilarious. She plays weird Barbie. And every single Barbie lover and anyone who's ever played with a Barbie knows that there's always the weird Barbie. They're the ones that you play with too much. They're the ones that you cut their hair and
take their legs off.
Take their legs off and dress them in weird clothes and put their bodies in weird positions. And so everybody knows about weird Barbie, and Kate McKinnon plays weird Barbie, and she played it so well. As only Kate McKinnon can
she's
do.
Got a history with SNL and playing all sorts of characters. That's perfect for her.
It was so good. And then America Ferrara was one of the main characters, who is she's a mom of a young girl. And basically the whole premise, because I didn't know, is Barbie lives in Barbie Land. And in Barbie Land, everything is perfect. Everything is, you wake up and you look like Barbie every day. And that's how all the Barbies are. And it's obviously very female. It's like all about girl power because it's Barbie Land,
Right, it's for girls.
And so Ken plays a really big part, Ryan Gosling, but he doesn't know who he is without being attached to Barbie, because it's Barbie and Ken. You never hear like, oh, I'm going to just go to the store and get a Ken doll.
Well, I made a joke because girls have Barbie parties.
Yes, Barbie parties.
And I'm totally fine. I think it's fun. They dress up. I said you never hear dudes like, hey, we're all getting together and dressing up as Ken?
No.
Or any movie.
Right.
Or any movie.
Barbie is
we should have.
the icon.
Right.
You should have, because there are so many
Barbie.
Barbies.
Right.
So many Barbies, so many Kens. And I did think that was a really cool part of the movie, too, because they showed some of the Barbies that had been discontinued in real life, and including Midge, who was the pregnant Barbie, and then Mattel apparently pulled it because they were like, can't, we don't want Barbie giving birth.
Right.
know, it's
Right.
like that's a lot to explain.
to 4-year-olds.
To young girls, yeah.
Postpartum Barbie.
They had puberty Barbie.
Yeah, yeah.
They had Barbie with a TV in her back, which I forgot about.
What?
So anyway, Barbie Land is perfect. It's run by, everything's great. Every single day is the best day ever. And then Barbie starts to realize that her feet aren't curved anymore and that her hair doesn't look perfect. It's like something is happening. And so Barbie has to trek to go see Weird Barbie, which she doesn't want to do. And she wants to try to figure out what's happening to her and why it's not happening to anybody else.
I see.
The long story, hopefully condensed for you, is that the person who owns Barbie in the real world, who's playing with Barbie, who loves her and plays with her every day, is going through something big in their life. And that's creating like a rift in the two worlds.
Ripping the space-time continuum. Yeah.
It's pretty much exactly what they say.
Okay.
There's like a hole in the, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
So you love this movie.
I did. I wouldn't say love because I have definitely seen better movies, but
You're entertained?
I was very entertained.
That's why I
It
go to
is
the movies.
so girl power. And the reason that I cried is because it brought back very real memories of playing with Barbies and how it was a way to connect with your mother or a way to connect with your siblings. And that it was like, I forgot that you use your imagination for all of these things. It was just very nostalgic.
It's funny that you say that because that's the most relatable thing. But like, I was shocked, and he probably doesn't want me to say this, but my son Landon went with his friends to see the Barbie movie.
It is pop culture, man.
As soon as he came in, I'm like, what movie did you see? The Oppenheimer one? He's like, no, I saw that yesterday. I'm like, I saw the Barbie one. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
He goes, well, Margot Robbie's in it. That's what. Right away. She's hot.
Don't make fun of
And
me.
she has never looked better.
Really?
I mean, look.
More than
she's
Wolf of Wall Street?
Perfect.
Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street was.
Because she's hot in Wolf of Wall Street.
Smoke
like
yeah.
sexy.
But in Barbie,
pretty.
she is gorgeous.
Got you.
She's absolutely gorgeous. So, love, no, but there were some really funny moments. It's definitely about gender wars, you know, like how in Barbie Land, they think that they've solved all the problems for females in the real world. That it's, well, Barbie can do anything. Barbie can be anything.
Just
Barbie,
as long as you're hot.
Because there's all
seen
different
that. I
kinds
don't
of Barbies.
I got
so
you, yeah.
Margot Robbie plays the classical or the stereotypical Barbie, and Barbie realizes everybody else has a job. There's construction Barbie, there's Dr. Barbie, there's dentist Barbie, and then she's just stereotypical pretty Barbie.
I do.
And so she doesn't have.
She's like prostitute Barbie.
She knows she doesn't have a
Do
meaning.
they have OnlyFans
Yeah.
Barbie?
Oh, yeah.
I
They
do,
probably will.
this guy did text me. This guy who's, you know, he looks like, you know, a guy, a dude with
Yeah.
beard and everything. He's like, I wanted to call him, but I can't. I'm at work. I saw Barbie and Oppenheimer, and Barbie by far was better.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean,
Unfriend him right away.
You can't. Well, and I think a lot of people, if for some reason, if you all are hearing I'm sure you're hearing political, it's the gender wars and about how, you know, guys, it's like, oh, every man has to be gay to love Barbie. Barbie and Ken are iconic. Whether you can admit it or not, they are. It's pop culture. And everybody knows who Barbie and Ken are. And in this movie, Ryan Gosling, who plays Ken to a T, and he can sing. I forgot he was in
La La Land.
Yeah, La La
La La
Land.
Land, but also Disney Mickey Mouse Club.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he's just, it's so unfair how talented he is.
Right.
And saying, and they're just funny movies, but he's really having his own identity crisis. Like, who am I? And like, he's not G.I. Joe. He's Ken.
And he doesn't have any private parts.
He doesn't, which they do reference.
Oh, do they?
They do.
Yeah, they did.
They do.
That'd have been
and he
malpractice.
did, my son
Reference
did
it.
say it was not a little kid's movie.
It's not at all.
He,
No.
it
is
first
not.
of all, I think it's PG-13, and he thought it might even be more than that because they were mentioning things that are adult.
Yeah, I was telling somebody at breakfast the other day that I was going to see Barbie, and this woman that I don't know leaned over and she goes, "You're not taking your kids, are you?" And I said, "No." I said, "It's not made for kids." And she was, "Oh, I was just making sure because some friends took their 5-year-old." And I was like, "Ooh, no."
I think a lot
Yeah.
of people have taken young
Yeah.
kids. They don't
'cause-
realize.
it's
Because
not
there's
for
nothing
children.
in all the previews look like it's a kid's movie.
Mhm.
Or, you know, like,
Yeah.
that's fun for
Could
a
be.
kid
Yeah.
movie that's fun for adults, but
Yeah.
it's really not.
It's really not.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell is in it, which I
Yeah.
totally forgot about.
Yeah.
And he plays the CEO of Mattel. Very funny, very Will Ferrell-esque.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
You know, but it was entertaining. And the cool part, I think my favorite part, is how they really reminded the Barbie lover of all the fun things that Barbie had, like all the accessories.
Yes.
At one point, they had an ambulance that I had growing up that drives in, and it opened up just the same way that you're, but in
To
real
pick up
life.
OD Barbie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
OD
I
Barbie.
guess that's
They
the
have them
one.
all. Don't worry. They have them all.
They have them all.
That's the
They're
one
rave
that
Barbie.
won at the box office too. So
Yeah.
I guess most people liked it, right? I don't know.
Yeah, and I think also it was surprising because it's Ryan Gosling's character goes out into the real world for the very first time with Barbie, and he is so used to women rule everything, and that's just the way it goes, and he's just Ken, and he goes out and he like discovers patriarchy for the first time, and he thinks that patriarchy is all about horses. Like men ride horses,
I see.
So he comes
Yeah.
back and then he tries to take over Barbie Land. So it's really interesting. There's a couple dance sequences in there that I didn't
So
understand.
is it kind of anti-man? That's what I heard. It's kind of anti-man,
First of all,
anti-male.
anytime a woman has anything of her own and
Oh,
we
here we
own
go.
it
Here we go.
as our own, men are like, well, why can't you like us?
No, I just
It
heard
has
that.
nothing to do with men.
I see.
I heard it was
Men are saying
anti-men.
they like
I
it
don't
though,
think it's
Jared.
anti-men.
Men are saying they like it. You have one friend,
No,
and Landon, who's
Landon
14.
and all his friends. That's
Yeah.
kind of odd.
Because I think
I was
it's a
just
very
asking. I
different
haven't
time.
seen it.
I do not think it is anti-man, but it's like, just for a minute, can we focus on how great women are? That's how.
No, I just
Yeah.
read articles that said it was anti-man.
Oh, is that from your
Anti-male.
conservative
It would
news
be-
sites?
No, it was just it was like
Is that
headlines
from
everywhere.
Fox News?
Katie, you said it's it said to say something's a feminist movie and it's not political. That doesn't even make sense.
It's
of course
a gender
it is.
wars. It's gender wars,
Yeah.
but it's not like.
Was it lighthearted or was it serious?
It was very lighthearted because it's Barbie say. You know what I mean? It's like
Okay.
if you look
I'm
at
just
it
asking.
in
That's what I've heard.
context, is that it's Barbie saying it, and they're playing real life dolls.
You should ask if men will admit
Sure, go
if
ahead.
they
Well, I think anyone if you saw it.
I
yeah,
did
if you
not
saw
walk
it. But it'd be
away.
interesting if a guy
Yeah, if you-
guy's perspective.
All right,
on
we
it.
have a guy on the phone now. But 800-682-1075. Let's do a make it or break it. Let me do it with like
Yeah, we
new
normally
huge
do.
songs, but Barbie's huge. Make it or break it. If you saw Barbie, make it or break it. 800-682-1075. Let's go to Ty. Make it or break it.
Definitely break it.
How come?
Oh.
Yeah, Katie, I agree with pretty much all of your points,
Mhm.
and that's the reason why I went to see it. Is a lot of my friends were posting that it was deeper, and it really wasn't this superficial Barbie movie. And so I was like, yeah, let's go check it out. And we left. I mean, before the ending was over, because it was just so annoying. I could not see the message in it because I couldn't get over the the annoying part of the movie. I don't necessarily think it's a anti-man movie, but you could definitely tell there was a lot of gender wars going on there, and I don't know. I think it had potential to be better than it was, just from my perspective of it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were asleep in our row. I was looking down, and there was people falling
Whoa.
asleep, and I was like, yeah, I can kind of get that.
There were.
Wow,
Interesting.
So that changes the perspective. Only 2 people like the movie, from what I'm taking.
Katie and Landon.
No, because he said I agree with most of your points
yeah,
that
but
you
he
made.
didn't like the movie.
But he
He
didn't like
left
it.
before it ended and people were sleeping.
He
That's
said,
still anecdotal, though. But I mean, yeah.
okay.
He did
yes,
say
but
he left
said,
before the
First
ending.
thing he said was, I agree with most of your points. As if I'm sitting here telling you my opinion of it and it's wrong.
No, but
No,
it was
it's not
make it or
wrong.
break it.
Yeah.
On a make it or break it level, if you like the movie or not, he
Yeah,
said he
he's
did
gonna
not
break it.
like,
I
and his
will
whole
s-
row is asleep.
I will say that there were a couple odd, as much as I like the dance sequences, at some points I was like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
What is, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I love movies. I'm going to see it. I don't know for myself. Rush, make it or break it, the new Barbie movie.
I say make it.
All right. And what'd you like
What'd you
about
like?
I'm just going to make an observation. I didn't see it yet, but to Katie's point, I feel like this
it? Rush.
movie.
Make a movie
Come on, man.
see.
Even Katie, you're agreeing with Katie. She doesn't want to hear
And
it.
even I'm like, come on. I'm thankful for you.
Well,
but-
What did you want to say?
I agree because it seems like for guys when Transformers first came out,
Uh-huh.
Transformers were for boys.
I
we
was
were really
crying.
excited to see the Transformer. We were really excited to see Transformers, and I think this is good for females.
Mhm.
Most guys really don't care about Barbie.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. And
And I think that is something like where
Thank you.
when you're saying it makes me angry almost because it's like when you're saying, "Woof, I heard it was anti-man. It's like, dude, this is Barbie. We're talking about Barbie, something that women love. And it's like the guys have to be like, oh, how can you hate
Well, no,
men?
but-
No,
It
it's
has
not, guys.
nothing
The
to do
article
with
that I
you.
read was written by a woman, so you don't even know.
Yeah,
but the
no,
article I read
here's
was
what
written.
you don't know, Jared, is that you set up this kind of thing, and it's
I didn't set up
it's
anything.
annoying because it's
'Cause I
like,
have
why
my own
does that?
opinion?
No,
Is it because I'm a man and I have my own opinion in this world?
Could
Go
you
ahead.
stop talking over me for half of a second?
Katie, go ahead.
Stop
ahead.
talking over me.
I'm not talking.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It's
This
that
is ridiculous.
it's that we can't. If you have your own opinion about a movie, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, why you liked it because it's anti-man? No, that has
I didn't
nothing
say
to
that.
do with that.
I never said that. Now I know how Jason feels. I never said that. Did I say you liked it because it's anti-man? I said Katie. I haven't seen it. I've heard
Okay.
people say it's anti-man.
Okay.
Well, I wanted to hear from you if it's
Good.
true, and you said no.
If I was to see the movie, and I would see the movie if I could sit down for that long, but if
It was
I
shorter than Oppenheimer.
is it
Yes.
okay? Well, I
Movies
heard,
are so long now.
did you see Oppenheimer too?
No.
Okay. Well, if I went to see Barbie and I was going to see Barbie, in my mind, I would think, okay, this is going to be a lot of girl stuff, girl movie, and that's
Yes.
fine. Just like, we go into some guy-leaning type movies, the stereotypical guy movies. It doesn't mean that, a guy can't really like it. Like, I'm like that with music. I like the girliest crap sometimes. It doesn't bother me anymore. I used to be like, that's not stereotypical for a guy. So it doesn't matter. But I do expect going into a Barbie movie, this is going to be definitely like, well, I thought it would be more kiddish, but more girly, female, that type of thing, which I'm fine with, unless sometimes I think when they make guys look stupid, there's a stereotype that guys are stupid all the time. Sometimes that's bothersome. But
Well, I think the ironic part there is that it's not making Ken look stupid. It's that he's a doll trying to figure it, coming from a woman's world, and then all of a sudden he's discovering patriarchy for the first time, and then he comes back and thinks that it's about horses, and then he even makes a joke at one point where he goes, "Yeah, I thought that was just all about the horses, and really, quite honestly, I'm not that into it. It was a joke.
Yeah,
it was all lighthearted, and then the way that we do is that it becomes so political, and it's like." It has to be anti somebody when it's pro somebody else.
No. That was my whole point. Is I heard it wasn't like, hey, this is women power, but it's also I heard it was anti-male. I didn't see it, so that's why I was asking the question. Because and people do that. They'll take a Barbie or they'll take something that is innocuous and then they use it to push forward some sort of message, which that's storytelling and people can do that. And my daughter, when she says she's going to say Barbie, I'm like, good, I'm glad. If Eli want to see Barbie, fine. I wanted to see Barbie. I just didn't have time this weekend to go see it. So I'm not like, oh, because there's a female movie, I'm against it.
No,
Not at all.
I did hear somebody told me at my neighborhood pool that I really like the Barbie movie. I just don't like that it kind of was a little it was like political. It's just like they wanted it. It was supposed to. They thought they were seeing more of a fun type movie that got a little bit, but they still liked it. And that's
And
fine.
she would say, Barbie would say things at some points and it would kind of ramble on about whatever, and then she would stop. And it was like a lot of inner dialogue, and she'd say, "Wow, I can't believe I just said that." Because they're dolls.
Right.
They're dolls
right.
talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
I heard that Oppenheimer was good, but I heard that more people they're saying they like the Barbie
Yeah.
movie.
And
Well, yeah.
everybody was dressed in their pink. I mean, it was just a fun movie. I'm surprised to hear that people spent their money and then fell asleep in the theater. But
But that's anecdotal
it
at best.
is, yeah.
We don't know if they're up all night the night before. That's you know what I'm saying. I mean that does happen.
Yeah.
I've been to huge blockbuster movies that have explosions, and you'll see some guy asleep, and who knows why? They might have narcolepsy.
And
we
I
don't
was
know.
shocked that my son said that they really liked the movie, thought it was funny. He said there was a little political he didn't like too, but he did said it was very funny. He liked it, and then of course the reason why they went to see it was because Margot Robbie's in there, and they didn't want to say that.
yeah.
So it's him and a bunch of guys. There's
Yeah.
no girls.
No, a bunch of guys. For all I know. Oh, I hope there was a girl.
Ah,
Easily.
Maybe
Wow.
he's
Now that you
he's
said
into
that.
Ken.
maybe.
Wow.
He likes
Although
Ken, he likes Ken.
everyone should be into
The
Ken.
only good thing about that, I always say this, at least he's not going to get a girl pregnant if that was the case. So I don't have to worry about that part.
Yeah, there you go.
True.